Oh wow, this just got really graphic. What is happening, YouTube? Welcome back, people. My name is Steven and I'm a corporate professional working in the financial services industry, and welcome back to my channel where we talk corporate careers, personal finance, productivity and all things in between. Wow, I'm getting really used to that. Yeah, I like the sound of that. As per, it's Friday, my recording day, and this week has been really hectic, I can't even lie. Today again was a really busy day. I finished work at 7:45 and I just kind of been chilling since, procrastinating as always before I record. This show called Industry came out. What the show is about apparently is about, you know, sort of corporate careers and, like, you know, young people, young graduates embarking on a corporate journey basically in an investment bank. And it sort of depicts like the stories of each of the characters. I initially saw it on Afzal Hussein's channel, great YouTube channel, you guys should check it out. And I was like, oh yeah, like, you know, I want to do something on this as well. And then my colleague at work, because a few people at work know that I have a YouTube channel, she mentioned it and said, oh, you should react to this on your YouTube channel. So I was like, okay, yeah, it's a no-brainer, like I'm gonna do it. Now, I must say, I do not work in an investment bank. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this is purely for entertainment purposes. I'm sort of gonna give my 2 pence and, you know, give you guys a bit of insight into, I guess, the general corporate experience from my perspective, even though, like, I don't work in an investment bank. I haven't really said what I do for a living, but I mean, you guys, like, I literally link my LinkedIn in my in my description, so you can literally go check out what I do. But yeah, man, let's actually watch this video.
This is a play for the end.
Industry. Why are you here then?
Well, it's not a very political answer, but I think mediocrity is too well hidden by parents who hire private tutors. I am here on my own.
First of all, I don't know if I can even be inappropriate on this channel, given the fact that I actually, like, post this on LinkedIn. She has some big energy, because I know for a fact when I was going to my interviews, probably my first ever interview, and it was for a car rental company, and it was with it was with the, I think, the head of HR, like the talent resources woman, and she was like really stern, and yeah, she was asking me questions and I was not giving those kind of answers. Like,
I want to be able to explain myself clearly, and have people be receptive to my ideas.
Is that how you get your validation? People listening to you?
As opposed to
Every successful business
what?
is full of people.
wait, is that what they did? Cause wait, like, that's a cheeky, bruv. Like what? Yikes.
I think this is the closest thing to a meritocracy there is. And I only ever want to be judged on the strength of my abilities.
Bro, what the hell does meritocracy mean, fam? Stupid. Government or the holding of power by people selected according to merit. Okay, so it makes sense. She's saying she basically wants to get in based on her ability. Alright, well, sounds a bit simple now that I think about it. It's not big energy, it's just saying I want to get in based on my smarts, but in a more sexier, big energy way. Go off, sis.
You know how many mountains I'd have to move to get you to London for good?
I think one thing I wanted to say is that they do that, man. In this corporate scene, I can't even lie, like they do relocate people if they actually want them. And I have insight to this mainly because the first firm that I worked at, it was an American firm, and they would relocate some people like on secondments, like literally pay for their hotels, like pay for their living. Like a few directors like moved from America to the UK to literally work, so it was quite a common thing.
Robert Ware's Ted Baker, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know.
I think you look great.
Boy, these times I wear neck suits, so boy.
He works on my team. He's a whole snack. If you're into that kind of thing, I guess.
welcome.
Okay. Bit early, isn't it? Like, it's your first day, fam. It's supposed to be focusing on what the task is gonna be. You're here scoping out the talent. Not like people do that.
So look at the guy or gal next to you. Really look. Do you think you're better than them? Maybe you are, but half of you won't be here in 6 months.
Just make yourselves indispensable.
Off the bat, one thing I will say is that I know, like, when I was going through my graduate scheme, the induction, take it back. When I was going through my graduate scheme, the induction was not as, like, how should I say, like, cutthroat like this. It was definitely more friendly vibes, more, you know, here to have a good time. Whereas, like, I don't know, the atmosphere here already seems like it's competitive off the jump. Like, you know, look, we're trying to find the best of the best. You need to be better than the next person. We're cutting people soon.
Hey, ask Rishi for the level of 1 year Euro swap and 500k EP.1.
Don't call me promiscuous.
Rishi.
Today, please.
Rishi.
Yeah, that's a bit techie. See, and that's the dynamic here. And I guess because the nature of investment banking, sort of the markets being live and, you know, they're trading, like, you know, and it's very volatile and it's all moving like at, you know, like real time kind of thing. I guess that sort of puts the pressure on it. You know, you sort of have to be alert.
He's impressed with that U.S. tail risk work you did for him.
Sent me an email to say thanks. Sorry, I didn't want to clog your inbox.
Don't apologize. Just remember to tuck your book here. People will miss it. We want to get you printing business as soon as possible.
What I get from that is like it's quite an interesting dynamic, because I think he's trying to tell her, look, like, don't hide your sort of flex, you know what I mean? Like, get, like, if you've done something sick, like, make it known. I guess a lot of mannerisms and the way you conduct yourself in the corporate world is very, very subjective. It's kind of like you know, I don't think there's like a be a certain way type thing, because I feel like people would give you advice, you know, be yourself. Someone would say, no, you need to like fake it till you make it. So it definitely depends.
Harper Stern, you're an international candidate, right? I'm still missing your transcript.
I'm still waiting on my college to send a copy. They are notoriously slow.
Moving out of that grey area now where it's becoming a bit of a problem for us, and therefore a problem for you. So, you may continue your quest.
It's bare weird. You definitely receive a lot of passive aggressive energy like this. I don't know if it's passive aggressive, but really sort of like, you're in trouble, but I'm not going to make it obvious. I'm just going to smile at you. On the topic of firms obtaining the copy of your degree, the first 2 firms I worked for, no, asked for it. Literally. These are like well reputable firms as well, so.
I know we both work for Eric, but I'm your line manager.
Again, I find that a bit weird how like she's only just like getting introduced to her line manager after 3 weeks. I don't really know how they do it over there in investment banking, but I definitely know when I started my role, it was kind of like, here's your manager from the jump.
That's fair enough.
This may come across as biased, but I really like this black guy. Like, he just seems pretty laid back and chill. He reminds me of a friend that I had in secondary school, Sammy. Shout out to my boy Sammy. Yeah, just pretty laid back. He seems like he knows what he's doing and like he's got everything on smash, and he just looks like he doesn't try.
You're bouncing. Hey man, hey, it's only 10:15. No one here is actually going to tell you this, but you need to put in FaceTime.
10:15. It's 3 weeks in. They're interns, bro. Like, like what? Like, what does that even mean? I stayed to work till like 9, but this was like well into my graduate scheme. But you see what I mean? Like, I like that black guy, like so gangster. Like, bro's like, look, man's doing my thing, bro. Like, I don't need to stay till 10:15 till 12 to let you know that I'm doing work. And his manager was even there, bro. Walked, so boy. Bro, go home. I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure it'll be more comfortable to sleep on the chair. Like, if you lay some chairs out. What? In a toilet? Like, I don't know what's going on.
Make sure the font's Helvetica 12 or the MD will freak.
It's a bit techie because I think this guy got stuck with the sort of do the presentations type work, and while Gus has sort of been given, you know, the sort of looking at the actual analytical side of things. One thing I will say, I'm not gonna lie, those presentations, like, it's, she was sort of saying do the font a certain way. I'm not gonna lie, like, people really do look into that. Like, my manager in my old firm, very, very pedantic about the way, you know, the font size is. Like, I used to prepare a lot of decks for management committee meetings and like governance meetings and board meetings, and yo, like, we spent like 3 weeks like literally like putting together a deck. It was serious stuff, like, so. Like, I've heard as well, like, people are usually send outs typically in this sort of scene. Not gonna lie, I'm not no send out. Like, if I'm doing something, I'm doing it voluntary. And honestly, I just want to tell grads, please, when you start these roles, like, look, investment banking or not, like, don't feel compelled to have to do the most, man. Like, honestly, just do you and let your work speak for itself. All this extra stuff, like, if you're doing it, do it because you want to, not because you feel like you have to, man.
No rest for the wicked.
That one's just a send out. Like,
it took 2 years for him to say good morning to me. He's never going to speak to you.
I feel like I can relate to this guy. So this guy is like in the research team, and I guess like they're responsible for sort of doing the sort of market research to see what the sales team can essentially sort of sell. And long story short, like the sales team basically all over the idea. Now I feel like I can relate because of not much in this job, but the previous job that I was in the department I was in, we were sort of seen as, we could be considered as the sort of research team. Like, it's kind of like no one really listens to us as such, because it's like, oh no, you're back office, like no one really cares about you too tough. So I get Bruce's frustration. So I don't know, I feel like in a sense I can relate to some of this content, even though like it's heavily related to investment banking.
The only way to guarantee you survive is to say, I am an originator. I won new business.
I think that's a lot of pressure to put on an intern, man. And again, like, I sort of see these stark expectations and these harsh sort of stories about, you know, IBD. But I'm not gonna lie, if that's the reality, like, honestly, kudos to you guys that go into that. Like, imagine coming out of uni, you go into a job and they're like, yeah, bro, like, you know, if you want to survive here, you gotta win new business. Do you know what new business looks like? These are like, these are like big firms, and your little 21-year-old self is supposed to convince someone to basically invest into the firm. It's pretty mad.
Inside. So, does she have a on button?
I'm not gonna lie, like, some of these people's banter, it's a bit, you honestly don't get it. Now me, I'm known for notoriously just smiling. I'll just be there like, and I don't know, I feel like you can see that my smile is fake, but yeah, it's not like, it's so hard to sort of, and I guess, yeah, then there is in that sense sort of a fake it till you make it kind of vibe, because yeah, it's just a bit techie.
If you think the house is burning down, this is how you monetize it.
She put the, and her manager doesn't like that. I have tread on like thin lines before where I sort of maybe like disagree with like a manager's point of view. I wouldn't say I sort of tried to show them off in meetings and stuff, but like I have like sort of like voiced my opinions and just been a bit more overconfident than I needed to be honest, like, you know, because sometimes you just have to see how far you can push it. But
wipe your f***ing nose.
I'm really surprised if people are actually doing this. Like, I can't lie, like, if it's that real, because, you know, you hear a lot of people saying it, you see it on TV, but is it real? Like, is corporate UK actually doing this? Like,
no business. Trying to make me feel like I'm unworthy of it or something.
That's interesting as well, man, that they say that. And one of the reasons why I started this YouTube channel is because I didn't really see many people like me sort of representing corporate UK and this whole, I guess, like, working life, do you know what I mean? So that's one of the reasons why I really want to sort of represent. And it's very interesting because my perspective is I don't give two about all of that stuff, you know, like what school you went to, because like we all end up in the same place, like, at the end of the day. So it's very interesting, I can't lie, and I'm very naive. I never really thought things like this exist, like people would make fun of you because of the school you went to or talk to you a certain way, but I've sort of experienced this whole I'm better than you because I came from this background type of thing. But me, I just find it funny because, yo, like, we're all in the same place. Like, we literally are all in the same place.
No, I'm not being snide. She has autism. And levelling with you, she's also a bit of a...
Yo, I love this woman's energy, like, just straight up. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, in my first role, I had a man, like, one of my managers, like, he was just real, like, bro would just tell you how it is, like.
Surely I can drag you out.
By my braids?
Now, should I be real with you like that? Should I be real with you guys? Should I be real with you guys? There is flirting like this, but not in the open. You were moving a bit wild, man. I said, by my braids. And like this is what bro is like focusing on and he has to do, but it's like super important, man. I think basically what happened is that bros used a different font on on the presentation. I've never seen someone so mortified over a font. But yeah, it's a bit techie. I mean, with the way their manager is, like, I can't imagine she'll take that really well, to be honest. Did someone just die?
Harry's death is an unexpected tragedy.
It's pretty mad how like everything just goes back to normal. Obviously you can tell from the dynamic like the grads are sort of feeling it. Like, the interns, you can tell like they sort of felt it, but everyone else is just like, let's get it, like, you know, markets are still open kind of thing, and it's pretty mad. This one just stays getting people coffee, like, what gone?
Well, I know she went to a shit uni, and I know she's black.
I've never really experienced like this kind of racism firsthand, but you get a glimpse, you know, just a bit of, you get the whole I'm better than you, like, you know, I deserve to be here type of vibe. But I don't know, like me personally, like my experience with racism, I feel like it's one of them ones where like, look, I'm here. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I don't really give two tosses, and it's like a lot of people would like to hit you up with the, you know, your diversity hire, yo, I'm here.
Rishi. Rishi, I said your name, dude. Can you price that option idea we talked about, half yard?
Million.
The client will not hear no, and I'm not interested in that either.
Hey.
4 cents. $4. Half yard, done. 4 cents.
She just made her first sale.
Do not forget how this feels right now. You are a world killer. Now I see you.
Thank you.
Why is there a ring in your nose? Are you cattle?
Do you hear what bro just said? Bro said, why is there a ring in your nose? Are you cattle? I don't even know if that's racist or just rude. I don't, like, what? After she just made us... I wonder if she gets commission from the sale. Alrighty, what's happening, people? So yeah, my thoughts on the industry. I really like it, personally, because I just feel like it's something that I can relate to. Even though like I'm not someone that's working in IBD, I think overall just my corporate experience and what I'm going through at the moment, I guess it's sort of in line with, you know, the show as well, because it's like it's UK based and it's just, you know, sort of depicting like, you know, as a graduate or as an intern, your sort of experience going through the corporate world. I do feel like, you know, there are probably a lot of scenes in there that are exaggerated, but then at the same time I feel like that there's some element of reality in there, because believe it or not, all those characters, I've seen them in one shape or form in my corporate experience. Learning points just from this episode alone is, I would say, just grads going into this whole corporate scene and this work environment, do not feel compelled to sort of overcompensating and doing the most. Honestly, be yourself, do you, and sort of do what you think you need to do, not what people tell you to do. I bend over backwards at work from time to time. However, I enjoy what I do. You know what I mean? Don't feel like you have to do the most and be popping pills to stay at work. It's really not that deep, honestly. I feel like maybe as the show develops, I'll start to sort of think of how I can actually like impart some value. But yeah, like with that being said, if you guys like this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next video. And yeah, man, I'll catch you guys in a bit. Deuces.